What's going on, guys? Coach Stoneface here, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do the Seattle expansion draft. As you can see here on my screen, it is late at night, but that is okay. We are going to do, though, try to get this out and try to get as accurate as possible to what Seattle's going to look like here in just under 2 days. We can see a couple things here, like Jake Virtanen is so popular of a buyout. He's on there twice, as is Carey Price. Mikko Koskinen, I mean, obviously the other fans want to get rid of him. Tony DeAngelo, if you don't know, you don't want to know. He's a bad person, it seems like. Shea Weber, I mean, you're not going to buy him out. Let's not kid ourselves. Real deal, James Neal. We can see the recent signings here. Miro Heiskanen, I believe, is a pretty good signing. I mean, for what he is. A lot of two-way entry-level type contracts here. Lots of unrestricted free agents. My team, the Toronto Maple Leafs here, we have about $6 million in cap space right now, but I don't expect that to be the case. And we can just see what Joseph Woll apparently is to the NHL, as is SDA. That's not really the case, but we are going to go interactive. We are going to go Seattle expansion draft simulator. Now, I don't have a lot of research in this, and that's because I want this to be an honest reaction. We're going to see what we can do. We're going to test my knowledge here and see what we can come up with. So if we're going to go to draft team here, we do have some options. So it does talk to us about all the different players. Getsev, obviously UFA. Adam Henrique, I mean, for a guy who was on waivers, but he came back. He did have a fantastic World Championships captaining Team Canada. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's at least in the conversation. But just looking through these names, Sonny Milano, I mean, they're not going to take him, but I do like Sonny Milano. What I think they're going to take, especially because Ron Francis actually drafted him, is Hayden Fleury. Now, I'm a big Jacob Larson fan and a Brendan Goulet fan, so I think both those have some opportunities or some potentials. But if I had to guess, it's going to be Hayden Fleury. Now, it does tell us we have to draft 30 players, minimum 14 forwards, 9 defense, 3 goalies. We have to have at least 20 contracts for 21, 22, so it means we can't just take a whole bunch of UFAs. And we're going to have a cap hit here to kind of maintain. Now, obviously, you're not going to have 30 players in NHL, so I am going to look at getting some prospects as well. See what we can come up with here. Arizona Coyotes. We're not going to take said Andrew Ladd like they had in New York. They got rid of him. Christian Fisher. I'm going to click on his name right now. RFA in 2022, $1 million. Former first-round pick, to my knowledge at least. See if there's anybody. Freddie the Goat. Michael Bunting wouldn't be a terrible one pick, but Braden Burke's another one that might not be a terrible pick if you want somebody younger. Jason Demers if you want like a shutdown pair type defenseman. You're not going to take Nick Chalmerson's contract. You're probably not going to take Alex Goligoski's contract. And we're going to get to goalies, but I know there's some goalie options that are better than that. So I'm going to pick Christian Fisher, 24 years old. Hayden's 25. So Hayden's probably not going to, nowadays he's probably not going to amount to much, but we'll take it and we'll go from there. The Boston Bruins, they have a lot of UFAs, RFAs for this year. So let's see. We're not going to take one of their goalies. In terms of defense, I mean, I don't like him, but Mike Riley's there. Let's see. Andre Cache is probably going to be your best bet. He is an RFA. Curtis Lazar, you're not going to take. Sean Corral, you're not going to take. Zach Senyshyn, you're not going to take. Even though I normally take Zach Senyshyn when I do a Seattle fantasy or Seattle expansion draft on NHL. Nick Ritchie's there too. I'm going to say Cache just because he is more of a top 6 guy or has at least top 6 potential. He's 25. He's an RFA, so you have some control. So is Nick Ritchie. I think Nick Ritchie's probably going to command a little bit more money than Cache will, but Buffalo Sabres, not a lot of options here. Drake Kajula, Riley Sheehan, Zemgus Girgensons, Cody Eakins, Kyle Bozo, Jeff Skinner. You would not want to take that. Colin Miller's not a bad choice here. If we're looking at D, I'm going to pick Colin Miller. I may come back and I may change it to a Gergensen, who's probably going to be a bottom pairing guy. Cody Eakins, who can probably kill the penalties. You know what? It might be Cody Eakin that they take just because he's a bottom, bottom six, probably third line, shutdown type guy, kill some penalties, win some faceoffs for you. But I'm going to go Colin Miller for now. Calgary Flames, not a lot of options here. Not a big fan of either goalie. Mark Giordano, cap hit's not bad for the player he is, but at 37, and he has been on the pretty aggressive decline, you're probably not going to take him. Mike Stone's not worth it. Oliver Shillington is a pretty good player, so he might be the pick here. You're not going to take Lucic. I don't think you're going to take Levo. You're not going to take Byron Freeze. A couple former Leafs there. Zach Ronaldo. Brett Ritchie. Maybe you can take Brett and Nick. Simon or Dominic Simon. I think you're going to take Oliver Shillington. He's an RFA as well, but I think just he's the best value here. Now, Carolina, Steven Lorentz, Morgan Geekie. I'm a big Morgan Geekie fan, even though I'm really disappointed he hasn't panned out so far. Cedric Paquette, you're not going to take. Jordan Martinook, you're not going to take. Brock McGinn, you're not going to take, even though remember a couple years ago, especially because he's a UFA, he was the big name that everybody wanted. Nino Niederreiter. Not a bad player from one more year, but 5.2. Dougie Hamilton's a UFA because I was just surprised I seen that. Jake Gardner, nobody's going to take. Jake Bean. Yana Hakanapa. Yanni, 29-year-old. I'm pretty sure I have his rookie card. Maxime Lajoie. James Reimer, Peter Mrazek. I think you're going to take Jake Bean. I'm not sure if Francis drafted him in Carolina too or not, but we're going to say Jake Bean for this one. Again, we can come back, we can change, we can see what happens here. Chicago, speaking of no options, Brett Connolly, Zach Smith, Vinny Hinostroza, 27 years old, probably not. Adam Gaudette. I'm going to say Nikita Zadorov here. I know he's an RFA, so I'm taking a lot of RFAs here. So 4 of the players have so far RFAs. But, I mean, he's a bottom pairing defensive defenseman. He's what you want. I mean, I don't want to go completely young two-way guys here like John Quimbo would be. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Nikita Zadorov there. We will see what happens. Colorado. See if there's anybody. Quinn Hughes. Or not Quinn Hughes. Cale Makar? Nope. Now, they do have Gabriel Landeskog. I don't see them taking it. I mean, really, it's only going to get you a couple extra days worth of negotiation, and that's just not worth it. JT Compher, though, 26 years old, 3.5, UFA in 2023. That's probably going to be where it goes here. Is there anybody else that's worth talking about? I mean, Jonas Donskoy, Brandon Saad, UFA. Donskoy is a good pick too, and 3.9 isn't a terrible cap hit, but I think they're going to save a little bit of money here. Go with JT Compher. Columbus, I don't even have to look at the rest. They're going to take Max Domi. He just needs a shot. I know we went through a lot. Columbus didn't really work out for him the way he thought it would. Nor did Montreal, nor did Arizona. Maybe he's not good. I don't know. He's still a productive player. I mean, Mikhail Grigorenko is a UFA. I don't see anybody in forward defense here. Not really. I mean, Michael Lozado, Adam Clendenning, both are UFAs. You not really get it. You're not really getting any benefit of taking them. Yeah, Max Domi's the player to go there. Dallas. Ben Bishop is there. Interesting. I knew he was there. I'm just saying interesting. Julius Honka. Now, again, I think this is another 25-year-old D that probably should have amounted to more, former first round or early second round pick. Andre Sekera is not bad. Sami Vatanen. Now, I really do like Jamie Alexiak's a lefty. What is Zadorov? Zadorov's a lefty righty. I'm just thinking of a too far. I'm thinking of a shutdown D pairing there, because you're not going to take Cogliano at a 3-point, or he's UFA anyways. Blake Como is not really worth it. Joel Esperance is again, he's 25. He should, same as Julius Honka, right? 25 should be better. I would say Honka has a bit more of an upside than Lesperance at this point. Sami Vatanen is UFA, because Sami Vatanen's not a bad play. So I'm going to go Julius Honka, and we'll see if I need to come back and change that. Kamano's is an RFA, but he's more of a depth guy. So let's go down to Detroit. Luke Glendening. Leafs want him a year after year after year. I hope we don't get him. Now, if Jenny Svechnikov, I'm going to click his name right now. Taro Hiroshi's there too, but I think Svechnikov's a year younger, so you're going to take a chance on him if you're going to. Christian Juice, Troy Stetcher, Danny DeKaiser, Mark Stahl, all surprisingly decent defense. Like, I don't know why they're as bad as they are. But Evgeny Svechnikov is the correct play there. Now, out of the 11 I've drafted, 6 don't have contracts. So it's something I do need to keep an eye on. I might have to change some things around for that. And I've already taken 6 of my 9 defense, and I'm, a third of the way through. So I am definitely going to have to check this out and see what there is. Now, Mikko Koskinen, he was one of the top options for buyouts. They have Alex Stalock. They have Mikey Smith, who is the UFA this year. That's just a terrible cap hit. All right, Oscar Klefbom. I mean, the rumor is he may not play hockey ever again. That's too bad. Adam Larson's a UFA. Tyson Berry's a UFA. Chris Russell, you're not going to take that contract away from them. Slater Coco, Cuckoo. Real Deal, James Neal. Kyle Turris. I guess he's only at 1.6. He was bought out. That's right. Dominic Cahoon's not a bad pick. Tyler Benson, I would say he's going to be a middle 6 guy. He's 23. He's an RFA. I mean, you can move him up and down the lineup. I would say he's going to be Tyler Benson. Nola Chari. Now, this one, if, Frank Vetrano would probably be one of my picks here. Lucas Wallmark might be another one I would consider. But the rumor is Chris Dreiger has a 3-year deal by almost $4 million already signed with Vegas. So obviously they are going to take him. I mean, you didn't have Noah Juleson there. Lucas Carlson's a young good guy. Brandon Montour UFA. Marcus Nunavara. So yeah. All right. LA. Andreas Athanasiou. But I mean, we need guys on a contract. We don't have anybody on a contract. So Matt Luff, Carl Gunstrom. I mean, was a huge Leafs prospect, right? That's when we traded him. Was he part of the Muzzin trade or the Campbell trade? But like, how is Blake Lizotte? How is he available? I mean, Athanasiou is probably the bigger name, but Blake Lizotte at 23. I don't know much about Drake Rimshaw. Carl Gunter. Blake Lizotte's just a bigger name to me. Oli Mata, but 3.3. Is he really going to be in where we could use more forward? So, Kale Clegg. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take Blake Lizotte. I think that's weird that he's available. We're going to take him. I don't know who they'd actually pick, but I'm going to take Blake Lizotte. The Minnesota Wild, I think we're almost halfway through. The one thing I'll mention now, I should have mentioned off the top, is that the Vegas Golden Knights don't have to participate. I read that they're not getting any of the expansion money, so they don't have to lose a player. But I'm also surprised, and I can't remember what happened when Vegas came in. I'm pretty sure the cap went up immediately, and I know it's a COVID year and whatnot again, but the fact that the cap is still at 81.5 with an expansion team, crazy to me. So what are we going to do here with Minnesota, guys? We are going to take a look. I mean, Nick Bonino, Victor Rask at 4 million. Geez Louise. Actually, I just saw what I'm going to take here. Ian McCoshen, not bad there. UFA, though. So if we look at just players on a contract, we do have Nick Bustad, Victor Rask. Bustad at 2 million is not terrible either, but Capo Kakinen, 24 years old, under contract for one more year. Like, why did you protect Talbot? Kakinen's the better goalie. I know Talbot kind of took over the net again in the playoffs, but Kakinen's the better goalie, and he's 24, and he's, I don't know, you're going to take Kakinen. So now you have Kakinen and Drieger already, which brings me, we're not going to take Carey Price. Now, we're going to talk about this a little bit when we get in a couple teams, just because I know who's there. But Carey Price, yes, you can market him. Yes, you can make him the face of your franchise. The issue is he might not play. And he's under contract till he's 38, almost 39 years old. You know, same thing with Shea Weber here. You're not going to alleviate Montreal from that contract. So let's take a look, see what else there is here. I mean, the obvious pick, and we're going to go through this, but the obvious pick here is Jonathan Drouin. Now, I understand he was going through some personal stuff. Doesn't really know if he wants to play hockey anymore. But maybe he just doesn't want to play for Montreal. I mean, Montreal is a tough place to play, just like Toronto, just like Vancouver, just like, you know, Chicago right now, and in New York to an extent. Oops. So we're gonna see. I mean, Philip Deneau's on there too, right? Yeah, I mean that's another one. He's a UFA though. Trying to see who's on our contracts. We do need some contract guys. These are all depth players. So I think Jonathan Drouin's a solid top 6, first line, second line type player. So we're gonna give him a shot here. And yeah, Brett Kulak, probably not. Eric Gustafson, UFA. So yeah, we're gonna go with Jonathan Drouin there. If he doesn't play, I mean, put him on LTIR, buy him, you know, whatever it may be. Nashville, Matty Duchene, Ryan Johansson, 8 million apiece. No, thank you. Mikael Granlund, UFA, don't want him. Rocco Grimaldi, bottom 6 guy. Calle Yankrook, I would say he's a third liner, but not a bad pick. Eric Hula, I mean, what happened? He was part of the Carolina to Florida, and now he's in Nashville. Don't really know what to think of him. Eric Branson, Mark Barowecki, you know, should be back in Ottawa, but he's not. Pecorine is already retired. Connor Ingram, I just don't think you know what's going on with him, with his substance abuse and what have you. So is it gonna be Calle Yankrook? Nick Cousins isn't that bad of a pick either. I think Calle Yankrook's, third line, can probably play fourth, can probably play a little bit of second. We're gonna go with that. We're gonna see what comes together here. Now, speaking of face the franchise, I've read a lot that Seattle's gonna pick the best team possible and not worry about anything else. But I think if you look at Vegas, the way they rallied against around Marc-Andre Fleury, and they had one player that they could really, really focus on, really help that team succeed. And as we're picking this team, Seattle is not going to be as good as Vegas. They're just not. But if we're talking about players that can put butts in the seat, has a personality, and I'm going to say this, when you hire, the front office that you've hired, and the diversity that you've hired, which is fantastic for the game of hockey, just fantastic, and it's fantastic for any sport. But when we see some of the diversity in hockey here, I think you build your team around PK Subban. He only has one more year left, but for year one, his personality, the way he's going to be in the way he's going to be in the with the media, I think PK is going to be the right pick here. I'm just looking at what else there may be here. We have Andreas Janssen. I mean, as a Leafs fan, I understand that. We see Nick Merkley, he's kind of a young guy. You can probably go around there. Sorry about that. I don't know. Will Butcher, another good player, and I mean better player than PK at this point in his career. He's 6 years younger. He's and $5 million younger or cheaper. But I think JT Brown's gonna have a lot to say. I know he's a color analyst, but he's gonna have a lot to say in Seattle. So I think you take PK here. One more year for $9 million. It's not gonna kill you as an expansion team. I know you want some money for free agents because there's a lot of free agents out there, but I think you take PK. We'll see if I change my mind if I need more cap space. New York Islanders, they protected Matt Martin. That's cool. I was going to say not Uncle Leo, though. He's there. Jordan Eberle, 5.5. Josh Bailey, 5. I mean, both those players are pretty good. Eberle's a goal scorer. You probably want to go with him. Casey Cizikas, UFA, you don't want. You don't want Richard Panik. You're not really going to want Kyle Palmieri. He's a UFA anyway, so never mind. Kiefer Bellows, he's an RFA. We're already at 8 contracts. Oh, geez. Kiefer Bellows. And Josh Hosang. Michael Dal Cole. To me, it's between Eberle and Kiefer Bellows. I don't think there's a goalie you really care about. I don't think there's a D you really care about. Thomas Hickey's not bad. I'm going to go Kiefer Bellows, and I'm going to probably have to change it to Jordan Eberle. But I think Kiefer Bellows is going to be a heck of a player someday. Or not someday, but someday soon even. He just needs that opportunity, and he hasn't got it in New York. And I think that's a Lou Lamoriello way, to be honest. So, as we talked about at the beginning here, we're not going to take Tony DeAngelo. We're not going to take Keith Kincaid. Who is available? Colin Blackwell. I mean, really, Ty Ronning, Julian Gauthier, probably your best pick so far. Jack Johnson, no UFA. Brandon Smith, UFA. Yeah, I'm going to pick Julian Gauthier there. Can probably play in the AHL another year, but let's see what we have here. Now, Joey Decord, Anton Forsberg. Joey Decord had a pretty good season there. Josh Brown. Now, Logan Brown got protected, even though I don't know why, because they refused to play him. Let's see if there is anybody worth picking. Ryan Dzigel, no. Dadonov, maybe, but 2 more years. 2 more. Oh man, Ottawa has not much to pick up on. Chris Tierney. Chris Tierney can play first, second line. Probably not a true first line center, but can play first line center. Yeah, I think you're gonna go Tierney here. He's a locker room guy. Has some skill. He's 27. Has another year on $3.5 million, which you can live with, in my opinion. We're gonna go Chris Tierney. Now Philly. This one I'm having a hard time with. I mean, the biggest name here to me is Shane Gostisbehere, the Ghost Man. But I know he was on waivers this year, and that's what everyone's talking about. Why are they going to take Ghost? He was on waivers. Yeah, he was. I have no idea why he wasn't picked up. He's an offensive defenseman. He's going to play power play. He's. I don't know. And I'll say this admittedly, I didn't watch a lot of Philadelphia Flyers hockey this year. But I like Ghost's Bear. Like, he's pretty good now. I also love myself some JVR. I like some Jacob Voracek. JVR is $1.5 million cheaper, one less year. Really, it's between and Voracek. I mean, they're the same age. I think they're the same birth year. It's just JVR already has birthday. Do you take JVR or do you take Ghost's Bear? I mean, you have to take JVR, right? You have to. Pittsburgh Penguins. All right. Huh. Casey DeSmith is there. Marcus Pettersson is there. Another low pairing defenseman at $4.4 million. Wow, that's an overpayment. I like him, but that's an overpayment. All right. Pontus Aberg, former Leaf. Evans Rodriguez, former Leafs. Frederick Goudreau, not former Leaf. Anthony Angelo. Sam Lafferty. Sam Lafferty's not bad. He's a young, cheap guy. Because, I mean, you don't want Tanev. You don't want Zach Aston-Reese. So, to me, it's do you want Casey DeSmith? I mean, you have Drager. You have Kraken, in my opinion, now. Casey DeSmith's cheap for one more year, but Kakanen's a guy to build around. So with Kapanen being a guy to build around, I think Sam Lafferty, because he played with Crosby a little bit, he played down the lineup. I think he's the pick here. So with that being said, we're going to take Sam Lafferty from the San Jose Sharks. Martin Jones, absolutely not. There is not a single D that I would want on my expansion team. Patty Marleau, league minimum Patty Marleau. Well, I know I'm going to Alex True, Ryan Donato, Dylan Gambrell. We'll go Dylan Gambrell because I need people under contract. Another year, he will be an RFA. Alex True, though. Ryan Donato. You know what? I think we need some centers, so we're going to go with Dylan Gambrell. So another superstar to go with PK here. I'm pretty sure we're going to take Vladimir Tarasenko, but let me just go through this and find out. There's no goalies really there that we're worth talking about. Jake Wallman, I think, needs a shot somewhere, but I don't think this is the time to take him. Robert Bertuzzo, Vince Dunn, Marco Scandella. Scandella's the old one. Vince Dunn's a really good player too, but I think when you have Vladimir Tarasenko available, you take him. Now, Jaden Schwartz, also a fantastic option. He's just a UFA. Tyler Bozak's a UFA. Interesting. I wonder if he comes back to Toronto. That'd be sick. Come back on like a minimum contract in Toronto. Now, he's not going to, but that'd be unreal. I'd be okay with that. Mike Hoffman did not pan out for you guys. Yeah, I think Jacob Delarose, again, didn't work out for Montreal. Yeah, you take Vladimir Tarasenko here. I mean, Jaden Schwartz would be the other one you'd want, but he's a UFA. So Vince Dunn's an RFA, but he's going to want a big raise, even though he's not going to want 7.5. But I do want 7.5, so let's take Vladimir Tarasenko, please. The Tampa Bay Lightning. Curtis McElhinney. Absolutely, I'll take you on my team again. Luke Shen. Cal Foote. Cal Foote wouldn't be a bad option. But I think we're going to look at forwards because they have a abundance of forwards here. Matthew Joseph. I mean, good player. Had a nice Stanley Cup run. Really like him. Taylor Radish. Interesting that he was there. Mr. Patty Maroon. I mean, why wouldn't you pick Patrick Maroon if you're there? I mean, he's a 3 of the last 3 Stanley Cups. He's a 3-peater. But I think you're going to look at Killer here. It's a good option. Yanni Gord's a good option. Tyler Johnson is an okay option. But I think Andre Palat is a good option. Everybody's saying how big of a mistake Tampa made by leaving Yanni Gord available. And I'm going to agree with the masses here. All right. Now, I do need another goalie, and I don't want to forget that. It's not going to be from Toronto, though. I can tell you that much right now. everybody's saying that we got Jared McCann so they wouldn't take Kerfoot and they wouldn't take Dermott. But I don't know. I mean, the fact that he's going to be an RFA, I like. I mean, let's just see. Pierre Engvall, don't really want. Nah, Joe Anderson, you don't really want. Spezza's you're not taking because he'll retire. Adam Brooks had a decent year, but not great. Dennis Melgen. I mean, Travis Dermott for another 2 years at 8.74 is a steal of a deal. Whether he plays bottom pairing or moves up to a top 4D, $100 million is great. But I really do believe Jared McCann's the best player we made available. And I say we because I'm a Leafs fan, but I think it's Jared McCann. Oh, geez. Is it Jared McCann, though? I mean, Kerfoot can play center. McCann, not so much. Kerfoot's a lot more versatile. But he's more expensive for another extra year. I mean, I wish they took somebody else. I'm going to say they take Jared McCann. I really don't know, though. And now this is another one. I heard they had a lot of interest in Braden Holtby here, but I'm going to say they don't take him. If we look over here, Sven Bjarchi, probably not. Jake Virtanen, maybe. 24 years old, still some room. Oh, no, never mind. Colin's the guy you're going to take here. Even though Jalen Chatfield's available. Just saw that. Gillian Brisebois. I wonder if he's the son of the Tampa Bay GM. I don't know. Travis Hamonic, maybe. He's UFA, never mind. Madison Bowie's not worth the risk. I know they've been linked to Braden Holtby, but I don't think you pass up on Cole Lind. I think it was a mistake. Zach McEwen's not bad there either. Jake Virtanen wouldn't be a bad pick, but again, Cole Lind is the pick. Washington, Alex Ovechkin clearly is the guy you take. No, he's gonna if you take him, he's either gonna retire or go back to Washington. I don't know. Garnett Hathaway, not a bad player there. Garrett Pilon, not bad. We got Justin Schultz, $4 million, quarterback here, power play. I think you're gonna take Vitek Vanecek. So kind of like if we're talking about building your goaltending here, I don't know why you took Drieger. I mean, obviously I'm going to be wrong on one of these goalies because Kakinen and Vanecek are both starting goalies and they're 25 and 24 years old. Drieger is a bit older. I guess we just have one team left. Drieger's a bit older, so I don't know why you do that now. I do need to take some more defense here, so let's see what Winnipeg has. And actually, I'm pretty sure you're going to take Dylan DeMello anyways. You're not going to take Jordy Ben. You're not going to take Tucker Pullman. You're not going to take Luke Green. Sami Nico you could take. Yeah, Sami Niku. I think that's who it's going to be now. Matty Pro's available. Mason Appleton's available. Those are both really good players, but now we need to find a way to take more D here. As much as I like Dylan DeMello, and I do like Dylan DeMello, especially at that cap at $3 million for, was that 3 more years? I think that's hard to pass up. But Sami Nico is a good player, so he's definitely going to be there. I still like the pick of Vanecek here. Cole Lind you can't really pass up. Now Jared McCann, because of that, I'm going to move to Travis Dermott. That puts me at 9, 30, 18, 9, 3. I'm at 20 contracts. Now I still have about $8 million left in my cap hit. Now I'm pretty sure if I go view the team that I created, we have actually about $20 million in cap space. Now I do like this. We do have some RFAs and Andre Kasha. He's gonna want, let's say, 3 or 4. So let's go 3.5. You're just gonna dig us down to $16 million flat. And that means he's in arbitration already. Arbitration eligible. Evgeny Svechnikov, won't expect much. Tyler Benson, Kiefer Bellows, Cole Lind. I mean, you can all get them on, maybe league minimums here, so you can the AHL in 2 ways. If not, you'll get them for under 1.5. But I mean, even if you say 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say 5, and then 8, so you still have like $11,000 in cap after you sign those. And I could be way off. Like, I don't think I am, but you could be. Julius Honka, Jake Bean, Oliver Shillington, Nikita Zadorov. Zadorov's probably going to want the most out of everybody. But right D, lefty, left, right, left, right. Now, the issue, I think, with my Dean I picked is PK Subban's 32, Colin Miller's 28. The rest are quite young. In terms of the NHL, I mean, Tarasenko's 29, but I don't consider him young. JVR, you had 29. Yanni Gord's 29. Calle Yarncrook is 29. So I think we have some bets there. And then Chris, I was going to say, oh, he's a UFA, but no, he's not technically a UFA because they're signing him. So, yeah, I like this. I do. I mean, you can put Kapkin in the AHL. I think he's the only one. Yeah, I like this team. I don't think it's going to be who they pick. I'm going to post it beforehand. Sorry for the long video, but let me know what you guys think. Put some comments out there. Let me know how far off you think I am, or if you would pick any of the same players. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And we will see you guys in the next one. Actually, I know I already said goodbye, but what I might do, and if I'm able to, is see how mine looks compared to what is actually out there. So, yeah, we'll give it a shot. But thanks for sticking with me, guys, and have yourselves a fantastic night.